Welcome to the world of Honga, and Honga is a resource management Euro-style family-weight Mammothian manufacturing game for 2 to 5 players for ages 8 to 99. But the game itself has a very clever core system, but also a simple core system. You see, on your turn, what you are doing is taking one of these action discs and then you are placing it on the board, arranging it in such a way that it is aligned with the lines, and then you perform the actions associated with each of the spaces up to a number of times for the hands that are pointing anywhere. So placing this one right here means that I am moving up one space on the track, I am getting 2 fish, and I'm getting 1 water. Got it? The thing is that 8 of these spaces are beneficial things that mainly give you something, but the 9th space in the center, well, that's Honga's domain, and if you fail to place any hands pointing to the center, Honga comes to you and immediately eats the top listed resource that you have, usually fish, and if you don't have fish, it's gonna be a berry. And you know what? Honga ain't full. Honga is a big boy and sticks with you and eats an additional resource every turn and doesn't go away until someone else fails to appease Honga, or you spend a bonus card gained from the jungle location, though only some of these can get rid of Honga. Others fetch you points, let you trade around resources, or help you in other neat ways. The core loop of the game is that 4 of these locations gain you resources, which can be used to add mammoths to your field or trade at the market for points. Mammoths are resources too, but they feel special because 1, these pieces are adorable, and 2, when you create them, they go to the mammoth field first, kind of representing their maturation, and only when new mammoths push the ones on the front of the track off do they finally go to you to callously sell them at the market for some of the highest point cards. But what's cool is that the player with the most mammoths on the field gets to draw the powerful red action cards, which have 5 hands instead of 4. Very nice. So outside of the market and a few bonus cards here, the only way of getting points is to go up the mountain track, which every step that you take brings you closer to the top, and if you make it to the top, you get 5 points, and then everyone else who's on the mountain gets points corresponding to what space they're on, then everyone falls back down the track. And once any player reaches the point threshold for the player count, then you finish out the round, end the game, and the most points wins. So I played this with my friend Billy, who is 8 years old, and this game says it's for ages 8 and up, and I was honestly kind of skeptical that the complexities of managing multiple resource types and opportunity costs would be hard for an 8-year-old, but man, he totally was able to pick it up and rock it within a couple turns. One of the greatest things about this game is that it makes it immediately obvious the costs and benefits of each action that you're taking and how you arrange your discs. Meaning that this actually really cool, super clever resource management game is a great onboarding point for kids and beginners. But you know what? This is a surprisingly banging game for adults too. When I first got Honga, I was expecting a game that might be fun for adults but was really meant for kids. If you were a parent, you know what I mean. But when I started reading the rules and looking at the components, I realized that there's a genuinely interesting strategic core to the game. No, it's not the deepest game, but it is compelling, and I've played it equally as much with kids and adults, casual and veteran gamers alike, and yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it. Look, I'm not saying that this is the next big game that your hardcore Euro group needs to bring to the table. I mean, there's relatively little variety from game to game, and so what you see is kind of what you get. There's no arc that smacks of even the slightest bit of engine building, and the amount of systems at play are relatively low. But the ones that are there, the action selection, the way that Honga comes to you, heck, even the buffalo generator, which we kept on calling these things buffaloes instead of mammoths for some reason, and it somehow stuck. The game gives you a lot of high impact choices within a very easily understood structure, and that is super cool. And this action selection system using the discs that can be oriented in different ways feels genius. I want to see this imported into more heavyweight Euro games. But for what it is, what it's trying to be this family weight game that plays with some more complicated Euro game ideas with lots of choices and impactful decisions, there are a lot of games that fail to do that well. They either feel strategically far too complex for kids to really wrap their brains around, or they feel too dumbed down that it's not satisfying at all for the adults to play. This game is legit. Like, it doesn't mess around, it doesn't dumb things down, it doesn't try to look down on kids, and yet it makes these more complicated ideas very, very accessible. I don't think that it's meant for younger kids. I think the 8 and up on the box makes sense, but man, the next time I have a family game night, I am totally breaking this thing out, whether I'm playing with kids or adults. I really love Honga. And that's our review. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald. If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcasts, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.